Here's a cell. What kind of cell is this? Let's call it planet Earth. I don't know. These are continents, planets. Don't judge me. Inside this cell, we are here. I am here anyway. Inside this city, let's call it, I don't know, a parasite inside the cell. Inside New York City, this is us. Could you imagine? Look how small we are in a cell. Let's call this bacteria. We are bacteria. Inside this is another cell. Let's call these organ cell. This is just one cell, guys. So just thinking about this logically, and of course after watching the movie Lucy, if, like the quote they said, if the environment of a cell is livable, then you have growth, you have peace, you have fruit and vegetables on the trees. There's procreation, there's love, there's games, there's, just pure bliss. And if it's not in a fundamental environment or environment that will help it to heal, if it's toxic, then it's in a environment that is not conducive. It's gonna self-destruct, so to speak. So then you have the cell here, which is really controlled by this bacteria, because this is inside this bacteria. So it's predicated upon what this bacteria does for its survival. However this bacteria treats its cells within itself, it could either be an optimal environment or an environment that will kill it, right? That's us. We could either make sure that we are surrounded in a environment that helps us to elevate, to grow, to become smarter, to be loved, to be appreciated, where we procreate and stuff like that, or we choose one that is, addictive or manipulative, or you just stick in one kind of like environment and you're not making the right choices, right? That can have a toxic effect on your environment, obviously. Maybe your environment is what's causing you to behave this way, and therefore you have now either, let's say if you're living in a bad environment, these cells are no longer healthy, they are dying, right? And if this cell is dying, then you are slowly dying, cell by cell. And if your behavior affects your environment, obviously this whole city, this whole state, continent, whatever, this part of the cell, starting from the center, then it spreads out, will be toxic to its environment. And if the environment is toxic, if this little dot here is toxic, then the whole cell is also toxic. And most cells have things called white blood cells that helps to fight off any kind of issues, any kind of dis-ease, or any kind of inconsistencies or imbalances in the cell. So, what happens on a planet when it needs to detoxify itself and call in the white blood cells? It has hurricanes, it has monsoons, it has diseases, it has floods, there's earthquakes. Kind of like what we are experiencing now. And if this cell is being affected and is detoxing itself, it's ridding itself, obviously, of this location or any other location where there are cells that are defective to the entire organism. So it's trying to purge that out, cast it away. And when you do that and you control it to a specific environment, you try to control it to a specific person, which will affect their cells and they will just be maxed out. Right? Kind of like in a tube, blown out. Now you guys can understand the importance of the choices that you make and how we need to maintain balance on Mother Earth, on Mother Gaia. Otherwise, she will continue to purge herself through a lot of catastrophic ways, what appears to be to us, but to her, is just like farting, blowing your nose, colonics, urination, and all of that. Thought I'd share. Bye.